Good morning. Welcome into the hot sheet. On today's hot sheet, I'm discussing housing inventory for the week, Friday's job report, and Fannie Mae's home purchase sentiment index just released. Today is Monday, February 10th, 2025. I'm Byron Lazine, and the hot sheet starts now. Good morning. Welcome into this hot sheet. Let me know in the live chat which market you are tuning in from today. We've got day after Super Bowl Sunday. Those of you that bet on the Eagles, probably very happy. Anyone that rode, here we go. We got birds in here. A lot of Tom Toole would approve of those messages. Anyone who maybe bet on the Chiefs, maybe not so happy, or those that just enjoyed the game altogether, maybe just didn't even care. But we're going to do a little Monday morning quarterbacking here as we review inventory over the past week, as well as the new Fannie Mae home purchase sentiment index, which is just released, and we need to cover that as well. So big week here ahead on the hot sheet. Make sure, and look at that. Haley's in the live chat on her day off. Okay, we've got Bobby producing the hot sheet today because Haley won the lopsided bet that I took where I wasn't winning anything. Not that I would have won. If the Eagles won, Haley, our producer here at BAM, said she was deserving of Monday off, and I agreed. But look at that. As someone who cares so deeply about the BAM community, she's in there flying the Eagles in the comments. So way to go, Haley. Got yourself the day off thanks to Jalen Hurts and the crew. All right, let's get into what we have here on tap. First being inventory here over the past week. Inventory is something we're watching closely, obviously, as we had some pretty significant gains last year from where we were. Started to see some encouraging signs, and what we're looking for now as we get into the spring market is, will we actually see inventory stack up closer to pre-pandemic levels when we look nationally? Some areas locally are at or above pre-pandemic levels. There are plenty of areas still below pre-pandemic levels. Right now, as a nation, we would be in the latter category. Weekly inventory, according to Altos Research, fell from 634,000 to about 635 to almost 632,000. So a 3,000 inventory drop on single family inventory. That being said, still 28% more than last year at this time when we were below 500,000. The market right now has just kind of been flatlining along. That's also what we would expect for inventory. We don't typically see those increases if we look at a 2019 more normal year till, say, March or April, when you really start to see inventory increase as you get into the later part of the spring and into those summer months. Okay, so we don't expect inventory right now to be having a significant decline or a significant increase if we want to get back to what normal markets look like. 28% more than last year, healthy number. We're flatlining along, also normal and healthy, and we would expect inventory to start to increase as we get into March. The all-time inventory bottom, of course, was 2022 when we came in at this time at 240,000, and that was right around this time. It was beginning of March when we hit 240,000 back in 2022. If just for numbers' sake, if you look at 2019, we were at 820,000. So, roughly just shy of 200,000 more single-family homes actively on the market right now at this time. Now, one of the things that's going to obviously drive that is how many pending sales are we experiencing on the market now. Pending sales, I'm talking about a flatlining market. This, to me, seems a little more wobbly, a little not unstable, but just a little wobbly, a little jab to the cheek. Okay, just stuns you a little bit. Reason for that is, the last couple weeks in particular, we're kind of if you're looking at the chart here, if you're seeing it on YouTube, you're seeing this number kind of curve off here where it's almost getting a little flat. It's supposed to really continue to just go up and to the right, increasing total home sales going into a pending status. We're at 3% less single family homes in contract than we had at this point last year. We're at 288,600 plus. That's 3% less than last year. Okay. Now, one of the reasons that is just a little interesting, a little wobbly, as I'd like to describe it, would be that we have 28% more single family active homes on the market. So it speaks to that demand that we know there's pent up demand, but how strong is it in the next 60 to 90 days? How strong was it in the last 60 days? As the 30-year fix continues to put pressure on those decisions from buyers where I'm just going to continue to wait and see, don't want to give up my mortgage, whatever the case may be. So about 17% of mortgage holders right now are have a mortgage above 6%. So there's opportunity there if they're not living in the right house, certainly for them to make a move sooner. Ultimately, and Josh Rubin said this on the Knowledge Brokers podcast, first time Josh Rubin was on the pod on Friday. He said, if you can afford it, in his market in Manhattan, if you can afford it, you're not letting that decision get in the way of lifestyle. But for many of us who are dealing with a more average or median price point, lifestyle and then what you can afford are two things that have to be aligned. Okay. The lifestyle or the floor plan or the house that I want has to also fit into affordability. And that's what's holding back the market more so than anything is those decisions that people have to make every single day. New single family listings, not much of an increase here over the last week, 53,000, almost 54,000 versus an almost 52,000 for the same week last year. New listings the last couple of years has been at all-time lows. So we're not improving much there. So while we have 28% more active homes on the market, it's not really being driven by new homes. It's being driven by new homes coming to the market. That is, it's more so being driven by days on market increasing and, just taking a little bit longer to sell. You've got less competition. Price reductions are up to reflect that 33% plus versus last year's 31%. 33% still normal. So it's not an alarm bell situation there when you look at price reductions. About in a normal market, about a third of home sellers will reduce price. So and when a home seller is thinking or it's time to have a conversation about reducing price, the Broke Agent account put out a hilarious overpriced home meme for the Super Bowl halftime show. By the way, in the chat, Super Bowl halftime show, would you love it? What'd you guys think of the Super Bowl halftime show? But I don't know, Bobby, if you can pull up that Instagram that Eric and Derek collabed on last night. If you missed the halftime show, maybe this will give you a little taste of the halftime show. But for home sellers who are hesitant to drop price and there's a time and a place for it, for sellers that are like, I'm thinking about dropping my price, or you're trying to get them to drop the price is more likely the situation. Normalizing that experience, obviously through comps, but just the discussion that a third of home sellers will reduce price before they find that buyer and get the net number that they want. So do you think the house is overpriced? And I can't hear it, Bobby. Oh, because we're on YouTube. You don't want to play Bobby probably doesn't want to play the sound because it's on YouTube. But if you go to the Broke Agent
That's
account.
exactly why we're not playing the sound.
Yes, we're not playing the sound because we're on YouTube. There you go. We don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. Jeff, not a fan. Jeff, not a fan of the halftime show. All right. I thought maybe the budget was a little low key. Sometimes you see some of these really big stages, and Taylor Swift, she was watching the show. If she came down and put a show on, I think the stage would have been probably, 10 times bigger, 10 times more expensive. That'd be just a random guess. All right, let's go backwards here to Friday real quick and just take a peek at where we were on the big jobs report. Non-farm payroll employment did rise. If you missed it, 143,000 in January, and the unemployment rate moved down to 4%. Okay, so unemployment rate moving down, the jobs going up to 143,000. The jobs was a miss. Here's the two things we want to know about this. Jobs was a miss, so came in under expectations, and unemployment was the unemployment rate was a little bit better than expectations. So basically a wash there. We didn't really see anything markets reacting negatively. It was kind of that washed out to be just decent news as it relates to that job market. If we look back over the last month, we're trending near the low point on the 10-year Treasury. If we go back 3 months now, we're not at that low point beginning of December, but for the last month we are at a low point. We're under 4.5 again, and I think we'll take that just based on where we've been. We ended the week last week at 7.03 after finally on Wednesday getting to 6.99 on the 30-year fix. The weekly edged down to 6.89. We'll continue to see what happens, but we've been very stable. That 7% number has been just pretty stable here for the last few weeks. Mortgage spreads are one of the things that's actually keeping the 30-year fixed around 7. It could be if we were dealing on the spread between the 30-year and the 10-year, if we were dealing with 2024, just last year's numbers, or 2023 numbers on that spread, we'd be closer to 7.5% right now. So the spread's what's helping keep us at 7%. In fact, if we were reflective of 2023 spread, we'd be at 7.75 on the 30-year fix, which also happens to be the 50-year average on 30-year fix, 7.75. So good news on the mortgage spreads kind of capping out that 30-year fixed right now. All right, let's dive into the big report. January's 2025 data release from Fannie Mae on all things home purchase sentiment. Home purchase sentiment index did increase here for January, bumping up 0.3 points to 73.4. If we go back to 2019 levels before COVID, we were at a 93. We didn't get to that despite how, the low those rates were. The sentiment, because of the competition and the inventory, didn't get anywhere close to 93 in 2020 or 21. So, we're well off of our bottom, which was when the interest rates went up early 2000 or mid 2022, second quarter there. We're well off of those bottom numbers, and we're kind of back to where we were on the high competitive years of 2021 from a home purchase sentiment index. We have different problems in the market. The affordability constraints are, I'd say, probably a bigger problem now than 21 because the mortgages, the prices were shooting up. The mortgages, obviously, the rates were just unbelievable, historic low rates. But the sentiment right now, the challenges that buyers are experiencing, they're comparing that from, a consumer perspective to what they dealt with in 2021. 22% believe it's a good time to buy, while 78% on the other side of that. The month-over-month change is +2. Year-over-year change is +11. So feeling better than last month, feeling better than this time last year on those buying conditions. That should lean into some of the momentum some are feeling here in the spring. Selling conditions, 63% would believe it is a good time. And, you could probably say that about almost anywhere in the country besides maybe Southwest Florida and Texas and some of these areas that you're seeing the inventory dramatically increase in comparison to other parts of the country. Home price outlook up 43%. All these numbers are up month over month. Home price outlook's up 9 month over month. And then year over year is up 5. Mortgage rate outlook going down. You have 35% believe mortgage rate outlook is going down and 32% believe you'll go up. So, a third of your consumers believe mortgage rates are going down. A third of your consumers believe they're going to go up. And about a third believe that they'll, I guess, stay the same. Month over month, that's down 13% points for going down, and that's year over year down 5. So interesting there on how people are looking at the mortgage rates. Job loss concern, not concerned. 3 out of 4 just not concerned there. So that's how your consumers are thinking about the economic conditions as it relates to home buying. And some of these charts will be right available for you inside of BAMX. We've got a lot of different charts from this report that might be beneficial that you want to pop into an email, use as a green screen, maybe text somebody who's thinking about making a move, one of your clients or one of your leads that just needs to see the proof. And we do that every single day here on the hot sheet. We load up BAMX. This is inside of BAMX platform on School. If you're a BAMX member, make sure you get over to School. We've now switched platforms. And if you're not a BAMX member, make sure you go to school.com/BAMX or use the link down below to sign up. Each and every single day, one of the features inside of BAMX is our daily market data. Just click here into this classroom. And if I go into February, this is today's show, but also all of today's charts here, easy for you to download, just using the download button on the top right and start to use in your content. Today, you can see that there are a bunch of charts and slides that you might need to use in some of your email communications. And here's, actually, I'll go to this one here. Average expected percent change over the next 12 months on home prices, right? You've got a belief here that home prices are going to go up 2%. So something to consider as, if I'm a buyer and I'm waiting for home prices to come down. Now, why am I waiting for houses to come down? And what do the buyers that I'm competing with expect? Well, this chart shows you right now, if you're a buyer, your competition believes home prices are going up. Okay. And so one of the things that you have to keep in mind when educating buyers is, well, if I want prices to come down, what are the people that I'm competing with for this home? What are they expecting? And that's going to reflect in their offers. So all of that's available right inside of BAMX, as well as our hot sheet show notes. These are, you just copy and paste from here to basically write a couple emails. That's how we make the cake here every single day on the hot sheet. Go to school.com/BAMX to get into BAMX today before obviously prices do go up, as mentioned on BAM Pro Bowl. All right, there you go. There's your hot sheet here for the week. We've got a 30-year fix starting the week up over 7. I'd love to see this week get back under 7 for that mental barrier. Like we barely got there last week. Keep you updated on all those things. Make sure you're subscribed here to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to the hot sheet on the replay on Spotify or Apple, love for you to consider leaving a review on those two platforms. Hope everybody has a great start to the week. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 9:30 on the East, 6:30 in the West. Until then, toodaloo.